Get ready for a wild ride. It's Pop Talk Radio. To be taking shots with hot takes is the ammo. We're talking theme parks, news, update, rides, and more. Hold on tight, cause we're about to soar. Talking park talk. We won't hold back, we're letting it all out. Talking park talk. Get your ears ready, cause we're gonna shout. We'll dive into the rides, some anecdotes, and all the fun. No filter here, just two guys trying to be number one in line.
It's alive! It's alive! Welcome to Park Talk Radio. This is your host, Bill. Another solo outing this afternoon, recording on Saturday, January 4th. We're not dead, and I'm sorry if I already used It's Alive as a return to form. I know we've been fluctuating, you haven't had an episode in the past few weeks. It's all good. December, busy as can be. I'm getting married in just under 2 weeks. Dave is continuing to grind, hustle, and out there hitting the beat, saving the world, taking care of his family. And it just becomes very difficult when you're trying to pull a million hairs in from a million different sides. But we're all good. We're continuing on. The podcast will continue. We are not dead. We ain't leaving. We ain't fucking leaving. And that means we get some more news to talk about. Today's going to be abbreviated. I'm trying to get something in the can and sent out, and then get another show posted for you early next week before I go and take off to my wedding destination. But as always, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Park Talk Radio. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Brendan's still pumping out content. We're still appreciating your engagement and your follows. Be sure to like the page and join the group on Facebook. And subscribe to all our podcast platforms available everywhere you listen to podcasts. Park Talk Radio, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can also leave us a voicemail, 407-490-2220. That'll get you right to the voicemail where you can leave your personalized message. We'll play it on the show. You can also give us a text message if you want. I'll text with you live, answer questions, give us some reviews of your park visits, have a thought or opinion about some upcoming vacation, or just have a wall of shame yourself. Go ahead and shoot us a message or leave a voicemail. So as I was saying, we took a little hiatus. We're going to be continuing to ease back into a full-time production. And as you see on social media platforms, content creator Brennan still cranking and grinding and swiping those photos around. So I appreciate, as always, the patience, your listenership, and continuing to play around and talk some park here with the fellas and team at PTR. As this is an abbreviated show, and some things I'm going to touch about today are going to be limited and exclusive to Universal theme parks. If you're a brand new listener and finding out, hey, they are back in the game, we talk about all theme parks. We talk about news, park visits, some crazy or less than savory things we observe either in the park or online in the theme park community, notarized as Wall of Shame. Today, nice and easy. A great orated talking with your host, Bill. And let's jump right in to our theme park news. Full-fledged episodes coming back probably early February. We'll get at least one more here this month. My goal is to have once a week as our weekly releases. We're doing so great. Jumping into Universal theme park news. First up on the docket, we're going to be checking out Universal Studios Hollywood. As we've mentioned on previous episodes, and the backlog's still available, check it out. Universal Fan Fest nights, those will be kicking up in this year of 2025, starting throughout the spring-summer frame. The first three events that they are considering and talking about are Back to the Future, Star Trek, and Dungeons & Dragons. This brand new event will be celebrating all things sci-fi, fantasy, gaming, and anime. And once again, these will be running through select dates as a upcharge premium event that'll be taking place after hours at the park. The three that we are talking about, Back to the Future. The 80s blockbuster was shot in part on the Universal backlot. So, of course, Universal Studios Hollywood is going to celebrate it at FanFest nights. Back to the Future sparked one of the most successful trilogies in film history, won an Academy Award, and has inspired countless last-minute costumes for people with red puffer vests in their closets. Get excited to look your McFlyest. So, of course, that one's going to be walking around down the backlot, seeing where they shot the actual films. And if I could think of something else, how about we just easily revert that Simpsons ride back to the previous Back to the Future film video. Yes, the facade theme and everything's going to remain Simpsons. However, on the upper lot, we can still play Back to the Future and reprogram those seats to be back as the original ride. Other one, Star Trek. Star Trek fans, your moment has arrived. The iconic science fiction franchise and pop cultural tentpole will be featured at the inaugural Universal Fan Fest nights. The Star Trek universe has taken the form of television shows, movies, video games, comic books, and more, and now it will take the form of something very exciting at Universal Studios Hollywood. Are you ready to go boldly? Oh, I fucked that up. So sorry, Trekkies. I mean no harm. Peace, chicken grease, and force be with you, or, Are you ready to boldly go where no one has gone before? I'm not super familiar with the Star Trek franchise, beyond the newer J.J. Abrams movies and the original series and Next Generation, the two my grandfather really enjoyed. So as far as what would be incorporated ride-wise or attractions, little beyond my understanding. And Dungeons and Dragons. Now, before we continue on, these are not the only 3 IPs or pieces of fiction that will be included at FanFest nights. These are the first 3, and what will be leading us into the opening story about the casting notices. Dungeons and Dragons, get your 20-sided dice ready because your Dungeons and Dragons fantasies are about to come alive. The world's greatest role-playing game is a full-blown cultural phenomenon, so of course it's coming to Universal Fan Fest nights. An epic adventure full of fighters, wizards, monsters, and treasures await you at Universal Studios Hollywood. I am an avid player of Dungeons and Dragons D&D. I'm actually going out tonight to play some. That being said, what will be here? There's a dragon inside Forbidden Journey, the Harry Potter attraction. Is where everything else could fall in line? Not quite sure. So Back to the Future, Star Trek, Dungeons and Dragons. A number of open call auditions were posted for Universal Fan Fest nights, and the first one was a casting call for Dungeons and Dragons, looking for Dungeons and Dragons face characters, combination of script and ad-lib, strong guest interaction skills required, improv preferred, 6 45-minute sets per day, so it's a normal Halloween Horror Night set, $25 an hour. Fantastic stuff. Not too shabby. So they're looking to cast Xanathar the Beholder. Now, let me see if I can do some quick Google foo and see what this guy looks like. It's 5'9" to 5'11". It's for a puppet. So, a litany of face characters to play different roles. Now, the females are 5'8" to 6 foot, and the males are 4'9" to 5'5". That would lead me to believe that the male portion, or the male presenting roles, will be halflings or gnomes, some smaller characters, in the female 5'8" to 6 foot, a classical elf. Xanathar the Beholder is a disgusting, super powerful creature. Is a orb, floating like orb with a giant eyeball in the middle of its head, a disgusting, grotesque mouth full of sharp teeth, and then a bunch of tendrils coming out of its head, kind of Medusa style, except snakes. It's just long, bendy things with more eyeballs on it. And this will be a large puppet that will be utilized at the FanFest nights. They'll also be having additional IPs and other pieces of fictional or cinema represented. One Piece, the anime, Luffy the Pirate King, in search of that big treasure. The big D treasure, Luffy D treasure. They have a casting call for those roles that would be typical with the show. Nami, Luffy, Usopp, Sanji, and Zoro. Not familiar with this one at all. Have not read the manga, have not watched the anime, have not watched the live action performance on Netflix as well. And then for Back to the Future, they are looking to cast a number of performer roles. Marty, of course, Lorraine, Clock Tower Lady, save the Clock Tower, who rudely interrupts Marty and Jennifer as they're trying to mac out there in public. We need unnamed female character, Principal Strickland, Goldie Wilson, Goldie Wilson, Biff Tannen, assortment of male character, George McFly, and Emmett Doc Brown. So a bunch of the classical Back to the Future characters where they have a very short monologue. Virtual audition for this one. Star Trek open casting call, and this was the 4 different IPs represented. These are, I suppose, are the earlier ones taking place in May or late April. We're looking for a number of characters from Star Trek. Rather, it looks like just races, Star Trek race characters. Human, Orion, Trill, Ephrosian, Vulcan, of course, Andorian, Bajoran, and Alazian. Yeah, Star Trek, go! I know Vulcans, they do the V thing with their hands and tongue. But it's very exciting. I'm pretty certain I will not be able to get out there. I truly want to go check out the Back to the Future Fan Fest night. I have the outfit, puffer vest, ready to go. White Nikes with the red swoosh. It's going to be really great stuff. So if any of our listeners go out there and check out Fan Fest nights at Universal Hollywood, give us a call, 407-490-2220. Give us your looks, give us your reads, and how you had a great time at the inaugural 2025 Fan Fest nights. And of course, tell us which one you went to. Over at Universal Studios Japan, they announced a January reopening date for Jurassic Park the Ride after it's been under refurbishment for over a year. It is officially announced to be reopening on Wednesday, January 8th. The ride has been closed since September 4th, 2023. Quote from the theme park, Jurassic Park the Ride, which has been closed for renovation since September 2023, will reopen on Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. We look forward to its reopening. This was accompanied by a video post by Universal Studios Japan, including a brief clip showcasing elements of the ride, all looking fresh, with new coats of paint, and the classic Jurassic Park soundtrack playing in the background. With that said, it does not appear that this ride got any sort of overhaul, refurb, to the extent that it is being remade in its Jurassic World cousin. And there remains a exclusive piece to the Universal Studios Hollywood lower backlot, which is an excellent ride. Looking forward to seeing a full ride-on point of view once the Jurassic Park ride fully opens this Wednesday, January 8th. Moving over to Universal Studios Florida and the Universal Orlando Resort, this will be closing the show today with a number of stories. Starting with a big one. There was a rumor circulating and only being touched upon by PTR journalists, as it was confirmed, that the Hollywood Rip Ride rocket found behind the Music Plaza in the main street of Universal Studios Florida would be closing and being to be replaced with an Intamin multi-launch coaster. As rumors have been swirling for this coaster's demise and destruction for quite a while, it could be replaced shortly by Intamin, who has also made Jurassic World Velocicoaster next door at Islands of Adventure. Some background on Hollywood Rip Ride rocket. It opened back in 2009, built by a German coaster company, Mauer Son, featuring a non-inverted loop and a 90-degree angle climb to go straight up, creating the iconic shape often used in skyline-style art on Park merchandise. This ride was loosely themed around music, and you were able to choose up to 30 different songs, between 30 different songs to play, and it was synced up and choreographed to go with the ride flow. Until late 2023, those 30 songs went down to 5. And there was some additional theming that was taken down for storm prep, hurricane incoming, and that has not been put up. And this ride is, you may or may not know, probably do know if you are familiar with theme parks, of course, It's been problematic since day one. Things falling off, falling apart, not working, the ride vehicle basically having to be rebuilt so it actually stays attached. No safety issues, of course. This thing's still safe to ride. And definitely would recommend getting one more ride in, or at least getting your first credit or your credit on there if you don't have it yet. As it was rumored to close this year. Now, that story was continued to be corroborated as there was new permits filed by Universal to remove Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit from Universal Studios Florida. The permit was filed with the South Florida Water Management District, supporting and corroborating said rumor. And the permit was filed on December 23rd of 2024 with a project description stating Universal will remove existing attraction and replace with proposed attraction. And it needs to be filed with the South Florida Water Management District, as it does have an impact on the drainage. It could flow into the City of Waka Lagoon, and they need to take into account how performing construction, not only in Florida, but anywhere, especially Florida with how the water table is, how that impacts the water management. An additional document shows a before and after image of the proposed site modifications, which involved adjustments to the water basin. These permits also showed a small structure was proposed on the right side of the image, which the right side of the image is the portion outside of the theme park and kind of in that hallway, alleyway where you go between Universal and Hard Rock Cafe. That would get you to the Blue Man Group, and it runs parallel with the final brake run of Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit. So the right side is what I'm talking about. That a small structure would be built and placed over here in that grassy area. And on the left side, two new larger buildings, one building being in the park's New York area, and another is backstage. So one would be in a employee parking lot team member area that would be not seen, and then one would be in the actual theme park, kind of where Rip Ride Rockit is shooting out and doing that loop through that facade, the old Ghostbusters fire station. So with all of that considered, and we see the permits are filed, Universal did come out and say, yes, Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit is officially closing in 2025, and it'll be closing in the fall, September to be exact. A official post from Universal Orlando Resort, December 27th last year. Hello! Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit will close in early September 2025 to make way for a new experience. More details will be available at a later date. So there is your confirmation. A new ride's coming. Intamin is rumored to be replacing it with possibly who knows what. Intamin was notated on the permit as one of the manufacturers. And we'll be seeing some additional facade and building work with the closure of Rip Ride Rockit. Early September 2025, and anywhere between September 1st and September 15th would be early-ish. We do know Halloween Horror Nights will be beginning again in August 2025, as it did last year in 24. So you'll get opening weekend of Horror Nights and probably saying goodbye, farewell, rest in peace to Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit. Going back to those two buildings that were being constructed on the left side or inside the park. The one backstage, do you remember that could be additional theming, an indoor portion, or some sort of extended queue? And then the one inside the park where it looks like it's being built onto extend or maybe possibly create an entrance in the New York Library facade area or where the Ghostbusters fire station is at. More or less flipping the entrance from the far left side if you're inside the park, where it's kind of in the middle of Music Plaza Minions Land, Illumination Land, and putting it down in New York, where it'd be a more proper entrance, could have proper theming and not be so in the middle and stuck between everything else. Now, that's my thoughts on it. I am very excited for a brand new ride, especially if an Intamin's coming in to replace Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit. I won't have too much love lost when this ride goes away later this year, and I look forward to what is coming. However, I'll get a couple more rides. And as usual, with anything closing at one of my local home parks, I will be there on closing day to try to get one more ride in and at least people watch and see how long that line gets. Always exciting. Continuing on as we get to some of the smaller news stories, we'll close with another big one. A new installation has come to Universal Orlando Resort at one location. Over at the ET bathrooms located right beside the water fountains, to the right of the ET attraction outdoor marquee, and right by the water fountains, a new Pharma Box has arrived to the Universal Orlando Resort. Pharma Box, if you're unfamiliar, a business has developed the first automated retail system for over-the-counter and personal care pharmaceutical products. Convenient and efficient way for guests to purchase products for medical and pharmaceutical needs, and to hopefully not have you need to go into health services, or if you have something that you may not have brought or forgot to bring, they have this here for you, including feminine products, baby diapers, and wipes. There's associated prices with that. Fully automated, no guest or no team member is utilized here. You pick what you want, you swipe your card and it spits it out. Similar to another convenience dispensing machine. Very easy, very simple. Credit card, Google Pay, Apple Pay, Android Pay. Doesn't seem too bad. I do have one image with a couple of the items. You can get a koozie baby size L 6-count diaper, $7.99. Or some water wipes, 10-count, $5.99. Clearly, they're going to be inflated. They're going to be a little bit more pricey for the convenience factor and for that theme park tax. How we're having this, not a negative. It's great to have. I think it will benefit a lot of guests, especially if you forgot something, you don't have to go off property or go over to health services, which is on the other side of the park, right by the Fast and Furious ride. And having this strategically placed over by ET kind of splits up the distribution of said items if needed or necessary. It's cool to have. I think it's neat that we're including more things at the parks for convenience factors. We already have fuel rods placed around both parks where you pay a single fee. Well, at least at Disney, you pay $30 or so. You can then get a fuel rod, which is yours to keep. It has not a huge, but a nice rechargeable little tube, cylinder shape that you can charge your phone and plug up and be ready to go. And you swap it out. Universal charges about $3 for each swap. Better than sitting around at a outlet that you've tried to find at a theme park. Not always the easiest to get. Moving on to right next door, DreamWorks Land. Poppy's Playground was closed for an indeterminate amount of time in the mini land for DreamWorks. This Trolls-inspired Poppy's Playground was temporarily closed for refurbishment, and several of the pieces were removed and covered with black boxes where those installations would be. Poppy's Playground, very small. A large red and pink tree is overseeing a couple of little troll bugs, critter bugs that you can sit on. And then they had small onions which did not move, did not swing or spin. They just sat there and were soft and you could climb through them. There were ropes up, temporary out of service. And then 2 constructions on the playground, same as my mistake. The same color as the red, as the large mushroom in the center, so they don't stand out. In here were 2 floral buckets. They look like onions to me that guests could climb inside. 1 remains, 2 are missing. And so I do have an update coming up right now that those onion boxes have been removed and the proper onions replaced with now fresh coats of paint. I guess they got a little tore up a little quickly as this Miniland opened up back in May of 2024, not too long ago. And Poppy's Playground has been restored to its former and opening day glory. Can't say the same for over at Mama Lingling's, or Mama Luna's. Mama Lingling's? Where are the... Mama Lingling's. Hold on, what is that? Mama Lingling's. Mama Lingling's. Mama Lingling's. Oh, that was a... that was a sandwich at the now shut down and closed Pom Pom's Tea House. here in Orlando. Excuse me. Mama Luna's Feline Fiesta over next door, right nearby the Poppy's playground. They used to have interactive props to play with the virtual kitten spray bottle, a little cat toy. Those have been more or less replaced with just a standard button. I'm guessing those very custom-made pieces. Looks like we got a maraca, a ringing bell, and the spray bottle, and some other pieces have just been turned into a standard yellow button. As they were no longer functioning for a while. Those were also covered up. And I guess it was not worth repairing them, as they are custom made. They are not the most sturdy of pieces. A button goes a lot longer, a lot farther than a ringing bell or maraca. The spray bottle does remain there. It's a little less movie. It just has the clicker as you would pull the trigger for the spray bottle. We'll see if that one can make it as long as the other, make it longer than the buttons there. Some general updates across the park that the continued construction of In-City Walk is progressing with additional overhang structures above the paneling. These two new stores, one to be a Super Nintendo store and the other to be an expansion of the Harry Potter store in City Walk to include, for the first time ever, butterbeer outside the theme park. Looks like we are going to be having this delayed a little bit. It was supposed to be reopening this month, January. It's been delayed or expected to be completed by 2025 April now. These two stores, Nintendo and Harry Potter expansion, are replacing the Surf Shop store that used to have the nice big wave photo op out front, and also the Cinnabon store. Looking forward to seeing these and what new offerings we have there and how the butterbeer stacks up against the other ones inside. Additional Wicked merchandise is spreading out throughout the park now through the end of January. There is a daily garage sale or or deeply discounted items available inside the Brown Derby hat shop, 70% off. For you must be a Universal team member or Universal pass holder to gain access, running from park open to 4 p.m. every day. There's new window displays at the Five and Dime, as since Wicked took over the store where the Universe higher quality clothing merchandise was located, it's now available inside the back half of Five and Dime, and the window displays reflect that appropriately. At some point, there were googly eyes inside the Revenge of the Mummy exit store. Unsure if this was a guest or a team member or if it was on purpose to put these inside. However, some of the props have skulls. There were googly eyes placed inside the eye sockets. And you can see Kitty Softpaws making the rounds and making the meet and greet hellos outside the Mama Luna attraction. Moving around the outside of the theme park, there were permits submitted previously to have construction start almost immediately to remove the old Universal Orlando signage, the large ones that are outside the theme park parking structure that greet you into the Orlando campus, to be replaced with digital signs, as well as having one available outside Epic Universe. Construction has begun. The Epic Universe sign is up, not currently running or testing, but the screens and the signage is in place. And around the outside of the main Universal and current campus, construction walls or barricades have gone up. The chain link fence with some coverage has gone up to where these signs will be. As mentioned, the one over at Epic Universe on Epic Boulevard is up. Available now to, if you wanted to go walk by it, you can. Screens are not there. As a reminder, the IPs represented inside those screens will be Jurassic Park, Shrek, Harry Potter, Trolls, and Kung Fu Panda. The locations of the signs will be on the corners of Turkey Lake and Hollywood Way, Universal Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard, South Kirkman Road and Major Boulevard, and Vineland Road and Universal Boulevard. So go on out, take a look. Those construction will be continuing to to ramp up and be concluded very quickly, as it's not a huge install, and we look forward to seeing some new pictures and video in action. Continuing on, our next story is talking about what is happening here for a limited time in January 2025. Universal Orlando annual pass holder bonus benefits. They are returning. In the past, you would get some magnets, maybe some pass holders, the pass holder exclusive entrance. Additional benefits may include, previously that is, special menu items. I know over at Confisco they had these really good sliders, and special dining locations, meaning the second floor. That's right, folks. You get the elevate and head vertical second floor of Confisco's and Lombard's, available in Islands of Adventure and Studios Florida, respectively. Now, for 2025 January, what are some of the benefits you can be expecting? Those will be performed from January 6th, the day this episode comes out, through January 31st of the new year. Added benefits, looks like we are going to be expecting some food and beverage discounts, BOGOs galore throughout the hotels, buy one, get one, as well as some physical take-homes. The first being a brand new Epic Universe lanyard. This will be celebrating the opening of Epic Universe to debut May 22nd, 2025, a mere few months away. I'll be giving you extensive coverage as we get onto it here at PTR. This bonus lanyard available starting on the day of this podcast, January 6th, through January 31st, while supplies last, is a beautiful double-sided lanyard with the metal clip where it has the all articulated flange that you can open and close with a metal semicircle ring. On the lanyard, the display designs are of the word pass holder in the center on both sides. All 4 images, one side depicting Epic Universe, the brand new Kronos icon of the theme park. And then you also have the Universal Studios float arches, Volcano Bay volcano, and the Islands of Adventure lighthouse. These giveaways typically go rather quickly. As a cost-saving measure, they don't order as many pass holders that do exist there at the theme park. So if you are looking to get one, go ahead, hit the park soon. You'll pick those up at either the 5 and dime or the Universal Pass Holder Lounge on the Islands of Adventure side. You can also get, depending on your night choices, select nights through the end of January. You can save up to 40% on your hotel room throughout the Universal Campus hotels. Exclusive dining perks. Yes, the great return of the vertical dining patio spaces and exclusive food menu items at Confisco Grill and Lombard Seafood Grill. Exclusive menu items at several restaurants. A My Universal photo discount. These are performed by the photographers in park, similar to a Disney Photo Pass. You can get 35% off the My Universal Photos annual package when purchased in said park, which get you your photos for all in-park photos. Does not include the ride photos, if I recall correctly. I might be wrong. Won't validate it. Won't fact check myself. Call on in. Let me know that I'm wrong. You can check out there. 3 park power and seasonal pass holders can take advantage of the early park admission EPA at Universal Volcano Bay up to 30 minutes on select dates during the month of January. Now, it's being rather cold out. Universal's not opening Volcano Bay so many days thus far into the month, so good luck utilizing that bonus perk. But hey, that's why you're getting it. It's pass holder month, bonus benefits. On top of that, it's damn cold out. Not going to be too much skin off their back if you are coming in a little early. And finally, you get exclusive food and beverage offers at the Universal Orlando hotels. You can visit select hotels, take advantage of those special food and beverage offerings. Let's see about those food and beverage offerings, what I can provide to you as far as what's coming to you. Notes loading up here. And of course, you continue to get early park admission to some of the dry parks up to 1 hour early, and the UOAP lounge benefits. So let's see, menu exclusive items. At Universal City Walk, you can get the Grand Slam Burger at NBC Sports Grill and Brew Patty. Cheddar cheese, lettuce, tomato, barbecue ranch, and onion ring. 24 big ones. You do get your pass holder discount on these still. You can get the creme brulee at Twosome Chocolate Emporium Savory Feast Kitchen. Creme brulee on French toast. Vanilla syrup, Grand Marnier macerated berries. 15. A special chocolate peanut butter explosion at said twosome as well. Chocolate ice cream mixed with peanut butter, chocolate sauce, chocolate whipped cream, Reese's Pieces, Reese's peanut butter cup, and chocolate peanut butter pie. 18 didgeridoos. And inside the parks, you're getting a special seafood risotto at Lombard's, lobster, clams, mussel, shrimp, creme fraiche. $42. Whew, that's a spicy swallow of clam mussels, man. Come on. 42, even with your discount, and Lombard's full sit down. Special food item, though. Gotta go get it. Try it out. Islands of Adventure, you're getting a s'mores croffle sundae at the Croissant Moon Bakery. If you've not been in there, great little stop. Always hot chocolate year-round outside the typical Starbucks and Cinnabon locations. Definitely worth checking out. S'mores croffle, vanilla ice cream, toasted marshmallow, chocolate syrup, caramel sauce, graham crackers, and a waffle croissant bowl. Croffle, croissant, waffle, croffle. And you're going to get a heaping drizzle of Hershey's chocolate on top of that. $9.50. Here it is, the Wagyu beef sliders at Confisco Roo. Coffee, bacon, jam, aged cheddar cheese, hot honey mayo, arugula, crispy onions on the top of a pretzel bun. $21. And finally, Starbucks would be remiss to not get in on the action of taking some extra pennies out of your pocket. A vanilla frosted brew. This would be a vanilla frappuccino with espresso cold foam. Varying prices on varying sizes. Some cool looking things, some good things to try out. I don't know if I'll get over to too many of those. But at the hotels, as we mentioned, those BOGOs, you're going to get free dessert with an entree purchase at Portofino. You're going to get buy one, get one free draft beer house wine at Hard Rock. Same deal over at Royal Pacific and Sapphire Falls. For Adventura, Cabana Bay, Endless Summer, both sides, dock and surf, you need to buy one length of stay refillable Super Cup for the price of a 3-day per pass holder per visit. So you're going to get 3 days for the price of one. Pass holder benefits a great time. Pass holder month, great time to utilize and take part in those pass holder benefits. Especially if you've not been to the parks in a little bit of time, go ahead, jump in, check out what they got, and enjoy a nice little staycation. In addition, the early park admission, there will be that year-round pass holder exclusive entrance to Universal Islands of Adventure from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is typically reserved for only a limited time, for a single month or a few months, depending on the time of year. However, for all of 2025, there'll be that dedicated entrance. You will need to be a pass holder to get in there and enjoy that exclusive, juicy benefit of going in line. Continuing on the news, Universal Orlando has debuted brand new team member name tags. If you're familiar with these, as one would assume, has a Universal Orlando Resort, little logo on top, a couple little bit of stardust and stars surrounding it. Your team member's name, dead front center with your associated hometown and state, and adding on to the bottom, this for the new opening of Epic Universe, you'll be finding little silhouettes and minimalist drawings of our icons here in the universe. The lighthouse, the volcano, the globe, the Kronos, and the arch. Everything here is captured and represented in such a beautiful and simplistic way. Cannot wait to see everything that comes with that name tag. Gotta jazz it up, folks. It was a little bit of a dry month as far as theme park news is related to Universal, the one I like talking about most. So this is what we got for you. Over at the the Universal store over at Orlando International Airport, MCO, right next door to where the standard Universal Orlando Resort merchandise store inside the airport is. They're adding a special Universal Epic Universe exclusive store. While it is not open from my sites, nor can I see photos, I expect this to be similar to the Epic Universe Preview Center currently residing in City Walk. Have some of the merchandise that will be representing each of the 5 worlds at Epic Universe: Celestial Park, Trading Dragon, Isle of Berk, Dark Universe, Super Nintendo World rather, and the Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. Couple pieces of items, nothing quite from the theme park yet, but once the theme park opens up on May 22nd, you'll be sure to find some good stuff from there. Now, a little bit of older pieces. You may have gone over to City Walk and the theme parks during the holidays and New Year's. Back on December 21st, there was the NBC Sports Football Night in America was doing a live broadcast from Universal City Walk, and they would be talking about Universal Epic Universe. Now, I did see this presented live on my TV screen at home, 20 or so minutes from the theme park. But they did set up down in the lower bowl of City Walk between Vivo Italian Kitchen and the Preview Center. Nice little stage, and some of the NBC Sports hosts, talking heads, were out there enjoying the theme park, enjoying the weather, talking sports, football, and going over some Epic Universe previews. Nothing that absurd or too crazy, nothing we haven't seen before, but they were there, and if you called them out, hey, a little neat, something that not all theme parks can do or want to do, but seeing as Comcast owns NBC, NBC owns a sports channel, they can do this from time to time. Either on your way in or out, you may have noticed they have debuted brand new digital parking garage signs as well as digital advertisement signs throughout City Walk's parking garages, security hub, and moving walkways to present a clean visual of the Jaws, King Kong, Jurassic Park, E.T., Spider-Man, and Cat in the Hat. Visuals to get back to your cars after a long day's enjoyment at Universal Orlando Resort, as well as display the ride shares and pickups, drop-offs. No exclusive does not say Lyft anymore, as something I've noticed. Over at Disney, when it says ride shares, it will say ride share / Uber. At Universal, it says rideshare / Lyft or Lyft / rideshare. Nothing presented here at this time from what I can see. The signs hang above the walkways leading to the resort's 2 parking garages, and they have nice, big, circular, oval, silver bases with the Universal Orlando Resort globe at the bottom. They retain that rectangular shape onto these ovals, so it's a little odd. And onto the advertisement displays, talking about the 3 theme parks currently available, rotating through what holidays are there, or what limited time events are happening, and some ticket deals. Cool. We're moving into the future. It's all digital, baby. Over at Universal Islands Adventure, as we mentioned, those Croffles have come in. Not only do they have the S'mores Croffle I mentioned for the pass holders exclusive. If you are not a pass holder, might be your best interest to become one. If not, fear not, my friends. We do have Croffles for everyone. We have a pizza and cookies, pizza Croffle, and a cookies and cream Croffle. You're going to maintain those waffle croissant bowl. Pizza one, nice and simple. You got your sauce, marinara, cheese and pepperoni, and then the cookies and cream, you're going to have whipped cream, crushed Oreos, and Hershey sauce. These are both coming in, our pizza's coming in at $10, cookies and cream at $8. They look pretty dang good. Universal City Walk, as always, Universal Orlando Celebrated City Walk. New Year's Eve in City Walk. I am having a ball trying to enunciate. Universal Orlando celebrating New Year's Eve at City Walk. Universal Studios Hollywood has the special event Eve. Now that's some pretentious stuff. Welcome to Eve. That one's a separate upcharge event. I don't have that in front of me. We're maintaining Orlando in this segment. Free to enter. They were charging parking until midnight at Universal City Walk. You could get in with your pass, of course, but if you were coming in just for the City Walk festivities, typically you'll get in and park for free starting at 6 p.m. Not the case here. $32 until midnight. And at City Walk, they were celebrating New Year's Eve with several live performances and special food and drink options until 2 a.m., something you don't normally get anymore in City Walk unless you're inside for Halloween Horror Nights. And even then, they stopped serving at 1 a.m., 1:30. If you missed out on the festivities and celebration, you can relive it by checking out some of these guys on YouTube. No affiliation, just want to tell you what you may have seen or not seen. They had the Crenshaw Duo, not familiar. The Z-Er Band, not familiar. DJ, now, I do know a DJ. Daniel Jones, disc jockey. Disc jockey. There was a DJ playing from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Then, of course, the Midnight Celebration, and then those featured food and drink items. I don't have those listed items. They were not quite captured from what I could see. However, they were playing and helping you ring in the new year from 4 p.m. till 2 a.m. If you have not been to the theme parks during the holidays, or let alone Christmas week, New Year's week, it is quite disgusting the amount of people that are there. However, it still intrigues me. I kind of want to see what New Year's Eve is at the theme park. I think it'd be kind of fun to see the debauchery, the mayhem, and people watching, of course. As long as I can plan down, find myself a nice little seat, get my little sippies, and we'll be good to go. Several of the new hotel signs for the Epic Universe campus have been installed. What I have today, we're looking at the Universal Stella Nova Resort, one of two sister resorts that will be outside the theme park Helios Grand Hotel on the inside. They have installed these bad boys. They look beautiful. Digital displays, of course. Told you the future is now, old man. Brand new sign, tall with a rounded top. Universal Stella Nova Resort is physically 3D on there in large white lettering. And the sign, as mentioned, is covered in color-changing lights as to match the celestial appearance of the hotel itself. Shades of red, blue, and purple are seen pulsing across the sign. This resort will be opening January 21st, as a reminder, just a few, 2-3 weeks away. And then the sister hotel, Terra Luna, will be opening in March sometime, and their sign soon to be installed as well. I don't have my reservations yet. I need to go check out Stella Nova when this guy gets opened up. Check out some previous episodes. We did go in depth and talked about it, and can also go in a little depth on some of the e-stops. I think I may have talked about these at some point. Value tier resorts will have dedicated walking paths and shuttles to Epic Universe, dedicated shuttles to the other 3 theme parks in the Universal repertoire, and your food court set up, as well as a lobby bar. Really cool looking resort from the outside, those spaceship style windows and all the thousands and thousands and thousands of reflective shiny tiles. And then at night you'll see the little stars light up on the outside. Universal currently is pausing use of drones in the sensational nighttime spectacular after a terrible accident occurred downtown Orlando where a drone show was performing. One fell out of the sky unceremoniously without cause and did strike a guest while watching. Now, not a Universal Orlando guest. This is downtown Orlando, the city, about 30 minutes from Universal Orlando. For the time being, those are being paused because of that incident. Now, Universal didn't say anything or make a press release on exactly why. However, again, the holiday drone show at Lake Eola, drones collided into the air and then fell into the ground with a 7-year-old boy was hit by one of the drones. Oh my God, and had to go undergo open heart surgery. My mistake. Quite some fucking whiplash. I did not realize that's what was going on. What was down at Lake Eola, Orlando. This was a Texas-based Sky Elements company that operates the drones used in the show. Second year of this event happening in the city of Orlando. And not quite a direct correlation or impact. However, probably bad optics and marketing. If, hey, that just happened kind of down the road, we better not be launching these out at the moment. So for the time being, those are not operating, as you will see if you have not noticed around the country. Several drone shows either temporarily paused or canceled from this incident here in Orlando. We just keep on doing it. Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls over at Toon Lagoon has reopened after its standard month-long refurbishment. The ride, according to team member report, has received fresh paint, some animatronics were repaired, and Dudley got his reins back on his horse. There's also to be some reporting that the volume of some sounds throughout the ride and attraction have been increased. Nothing else to note here. It's back open for fresh water, and it's going to be a stinky, stinky summer, as always, with the return of Dudley Do-Rate. Something in that water, it's the material in the ride vehicle, or I don't know, it just gives some that stinky stank feeling after you get off that bad boy. Closing up, we got 2 stories left to go. After nearly a 9-month-long closure, Pterodon Flyers, the kiddie 2-seater coaster inside Camp Jurassic at Jurassic Park Island, is testing. 9 months and this guy's been down. And with testing, that means we'll be reopening rather soon. As I've been on this ride one time, just by pure happenstance, it's a very limited ride on as far as who can ride it due to having a height maximum, with it being guests only. Guests have a height maximum of 56 inches, where this ride is designed for guests between 36 and 56 inches, with guests who are taller than that. And 56 inches, not that tall. What is that, 5 feet? Lower 5 foot? I don't know. 56 divided by 12? 4.5 feet. It's stupid. So dumb. So if you're over 4.5 feet, which I would suspect the majority of adults are, you cannot ride this super cool, super awesome kiddie coaster unless you're accompanying a child between 36 and 56 inches. So with this, earlier there was a notice that the Pterodon-inspired flying vehicles, it's in the shape of Pterodon, or it looks similar to a pterodactyl, just smaller, has 2 suspended seats that it will glide on its path throughout Camp Jurassic with some swinging elements. We saw these vehicles cycling without any riders, and it's an 80-second exhilarating adventure with a bird's eye view of Camp Jurassic. As of now, no official reopening date has been posted, but it's got to be coming up soon. And our final story, which will be the teaser going into next episode, episode 44, closing out episode 43. We are several days into the new year. You know what time it's time to talk about? Since we just closed up holidays, New Year's has happened. What's the next event on the calendar? Halloween Horror Nights. That's right. I'm glad you all shouted into your radio and answered together in unison. Halloween Horror Nights. Of course, we do have Mardi Gras coming up on January 16th. You'll be able to sign up for the free float riding experience as a pass holder. You can still do the float and dine, ride and dine. That's $90 a person. The free one, there'll be sometime on January 16th. You can go on and sign up. However, the big one coming up will be Halloween Horror Nights 2025. And as such, Christmas 24 is over, which means it's basically 25 at the time of this posting. And as such, it is nearly Halloween Horror Nights time. And over at Horror Night Nightmares, they posted on December 25th, Christmas Day, a very early peek at Halloween Horror Nights 2025, which will be Halloween Horror Nights 34 HHN 34. They posted a speculation map. And in honor of Christmas, Horror Night Nightmares used various holiday-themed symbols to represent the different rumored houses. And as always, we don't typically touch on rumor speculation unless it is Horror Nights focused. And what they've posted for us today are the 10 house locations as normal, with Soundstage 23A, 22, 23B, 24A, 24B, Fast and Furious, and the 4 sprung tents. They have presented us with several logos and kind of symbols to give some insight to what these houses may be. Of course, you still have the 5 scare zones and then the show over in Fear Factor Live Pavilion. Symbols they've given us 5 of the 10, with the 5 remaining symbols being a present with question marks on it, present box. The map currently has these pictures available for Soundstage 23A, which is a bird symbol, the outline flying over some flowers. 22 is a rocking horse chair with a Santa hat on top. 23B is a Santa beard mustache combo. And tent 4 is a ghost with a Santa hat on holding a string of Christmas lights. Now, with the first one, again, going back. 23A, this is the soundstage next to Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, depicting a white dove with 2 lily flowers. This could be an original house, or more than likely, this is probably going to be Last of Us Part 2, as we did have Last of Us not too long ago. It's time for Season 2, premiering this year on HBO. It's time for a house. The show will be completed before Halloween Horror Nights kicks off. And as such, great lead into the house that probably will be here at HHN 34. And I would be remiss to note if I didn't state that the Horror Nights Hollywood speculation map has also been posted. We're going to wait for Dave to come in. We'll talk about that one. And moving on, the White Santa beard over in 23B. This is next to Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon. This Santa beard, more than me, as far as I can guess, what goes with Santa beard, you have probably Terrifier 3. That's Art the Clown. In his 3rd movie iteration, in that one, he does become Santa. It's not really a Tim Allen Santa Claus situation. He doesn't become Santa. He dresses up as Santa. And, of course, murders some deserving victims because they did nothing but wake up in their house. The ghost symbol for tent number 4, sprung 4, ghost with Christmas hat and Christmas lights holding it in his hands. Next to Men in Black. Not sure quite why this is the thought line here, but current speculation leads people to believe, and not so much myself. However, the prevailing rumor is that this is going to be a Beetlejuice house to reflect the second movie that came out late last year in 2024. As we had Beetlejuice House back in 2020 for a one night only, and then the full-fledged Beetlejuice House in 2021. Over at the Fast and Furious tent, we have a shelf of toys depicting a doll, a rabbit, dice, and blocks. This one is more than likely going to be something related to Blumhouse. Toys include a doll, could be Megan, a rabbit being the Purge. But I would say more than likely this is going to be a full-fledged Megan house. Megan has been popular since its movie came out. We had the Megan Dancing Horde. We've had the Megan photo op. We have not had a completely realized and fleshed out Megan house. And with Megan 2 coming out this year of 25, that is an easy pick. And as far as speculation is concerned, that Megan will be joining us at Horror Nights 34. And finally, the Rocking Horse with the Santa hat, Soundstage 22. Also near Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. Might be for Last of Us Part 2, so the other one would be something else, since Last of Us Part 2 represents a lot of horses. As far as what else would go there, unsure. I'm not sure what house or horse or a rocking horse could be. I mean, we already talked about Megan, that's a toy. That's the toy shelf. The flowers with the bird makes a lot more sense for Last of Us relative to the rocking horse chair. I don't know. All that to be said, wait for episode 44. We'll have a deep discussion with Dave. We'll talk house speculation. We'll talk Halloween Horror Nights in January. I'm so damn excited we get to talk about Horror Nights already. And as the teaser was mentioned, episode 44, we're going to be going into the permits that were posted. We already got permits posted for the houses, which means they're about to start construction on the houses. And they usually do these in batches. Their sound stations probably aren't going to get their house, have any construction beginning up quite yet. However, the tents can start construction now. That is it tonight, friends. Thank you all so much for your listenership, patience, and continued dedication to the show. My name is Bill, and I love you. Follow us social media at Park Talk Radio on all social media platforms. Follow us on all your podcast subscriptions. Park Talk Radio. Phone line 407-490-2220. Leave us a voicemail. Send us a text. Email, of course, parktalkradio@gmail.com. Thank you. Have a great night. Be safe. Enjoy your Horror Nights thoughts and speculation. And I'll see you in the park.